We had a great weekend, minus winning a game. There isn't anything that we would change about the trip. It is what we thought it was going to be, a big-time event, very well organized. They really take care of the teams. They do a terrific job in making it. That one in the Maui, certainly the two best tournaments out there right now, and so everything about it was terrific. Now, in saying that, obviously there's some disappointment that we weren't able to finish the job on Thursday night against Louisville, same on Friday, and certainly on Saturday. The way we played in the first half gave ourselves a great chance to beat Memphis, and so the guys played very hard. In stretches, played very well. Had too many stretches where we didn't rebound the basketball well enough. Our ball handling and our passing wasn't sharp enough at some key times, in particular to start the Louisville game. So there's some things that need to be fixed a little bit from the X's and O's standpoint. The good news is we can fix those things. But in terms of how hard the guys played and our teamwork, the leadership that we got from our upperclassmen, those things were very, very good, and a lot of positives came out of this weekend. And nobody more so than the guys would have rather come home with 3 wins or found a way to get a win in that last one. But like I said, more positives than negatives coming out of the weekend. So I'm very encouraged. I really like our basketball team. We got plenty of work to do, and we'll get started on that tomorrow. And have a great week of practice, and we'll be ready to play on Saturday. With that, I would take questions.
I feel like you guys dictated the style of play down there. I mean, you look at these scores, and they're you and I type scores.
Yeah, in some ways, yes. The games were very, very physical. The games we played in, and watching the other games as well, very physical games. It had a NCAA tournament type feel and atmosphere, and the way in which that they were officiated, and to me, those things are all good. I like those games. In a lot of ways, our defense was plenty good enough and did what it was supposed to do in terms of dictating the way the game is going to be played. We were able to set our defense for the most part. Against Louisville, we didn't as often as we needed to because we turned the ball over too many times, and that hurt us in that game. But other than that, we did a pretty good job with our defense. Now, offensively, we missed on some opportunities, and like I said, our ball handling wasn't good enough in stretches. And then there's some things that we just got to work at. We got a couple of new things I think we need to do with our offense, and we got to get better at some of the things we're doing.
How does playing in a tournament like this with all this talent early help your team later?
Well, not only the games that we played in, certainly playing Louisville, Stanford, Memphis, playing those kinds of teams with the guys that they've got, the guys coaching those teams. You learn a lot about what you need to do and where you need to improve. And then also having the opportunity to watch the other games and watch those teams. I was able to learn a lot, from that part of it as well. So a lot of things that we can take from this tournament.
You had a chance to look at Milwaukee yet?
I have not. One of my assistants has got quite a bit of that done already, but I have not. I'll be started on that later today. Yeah.
Did the tournament officials have to make some adjustments with the floor? Because on Thursday they were sliding all over the place and it looked like putting them to bed.
Yeah, I think just a case of that floor being new and not having been played on is why it might have been a little bit slippery on Thursday. But after it was played on a little bit, it was fine. Yeah.
Coach, I know you got some tough non-conference games left with UNLV, St. Mary's, George Mason, and then in the league,
Wisconsin, Milwaukee.
Yeah, Milwaukee.
Saturday.
And then in the league,
Saturday.
Creighton,
Right.
Wichita, Illinois. But do you
Iowa.
You think that, my question is, do you think that you will face any more athletic, long, physical teams than what you saw last weekend?
You know, I have not seen UNLV yet. Some of you may have seen UNLV play this past week in their tournament. I don't know if it was televised or not, but I have not seen them play. I've read plenty and know a little bit about some of their guys and their team a little bit. But there's certainly a reason that Louisville, Missouri, Memphis, Duke were ranked in the top 25 to start the tournament. You know, VCU played great down there. They've got a team that's certainly a top 30 team right now, and Stanford and Minnesota are really good as well. And in being there for 3 days and in playing those teams, the size and the length and the ability for them to cover up, you know, they can make some mistakes and they can get them covered up, and things are harder around the basket. You know, whether it's for our bigs or for our guards, they drive it in there. Things are tougher around the basket when you're playing against those kinds of teams. So. Like I said, an opportunity for us to really get better now having played those games. And the only thing that I would have be different would be that we won Thursday, got ourselves into the semis. Did I answer your question or even get close?
Pretty good. What, how concerned are you that the offense struggled all 3 games? So you only averaged about 48, 49 points a game. Is that a major concern, or just you think it was the...
Yeah, you know, the 2 things I'll say about our offensive play down there. One, our ball handling and passing wasn't sharp enough. It wasn't as good. Usually that's a strength of ours, and I think in the first half of the Memphis game, if anybody watched that first half in that game, our ball handling and passing was terrific, and that was a result of playing the 2 days before that against teams that were able to do some of the same things, and our guys made some good adjustments. And you know, that has to be a strength of our basketball team. Our ball handling and passing, it is really good. It wasn't good enough in the first 2 games, and so I think we'll be much better now going forward because of those games. The second thing I would say is we have to get better at some of the things we're doing, and I also feel like there's some things that we can do a little bit differently. You know, I think we can add some different things to our offense, and you know, each team is different. You know, every year is different, and so we've got to make sure from a coaching staff standpoint that we're doing the things offensively that fit this team the best. And you know, I'm still learning our team, even though you know a lot of the guys are back. And we've got to make sure we are doing the things, running the things offensively that fit this team best. And I think we're doing a lot of things that fit our team really well. But I also feel there's a couple things that we can add to what we're doing that maybe are a little bit different. That can help our guys and put them in spots where they can be successful. Because I feel like we've got a very good group offensively, a group of guys that can really play at the offensive end. And they'll work hard to sharpen up their ball handling and passing, but their teamwork is very good. And then I've got to make sure that we're doing the right things. So whether that means we continue with what we're doing completely, or we scrap a couple things and add a couple new things, I've got to make sure we're doing that.
I thought it was interesting on the post-game show Saturday after the 3rd straight loss, you said that you like this team even more after that trip. What is it that you like so much? Because I know the defeats hurt, but is it
Right.
the chemistry? Is it what is it that you really like?
I think our chemistry is very good, and I like that about this team. Our leadership is terrific. I think the reason I felt that way after the Memphis game, having the guys putting themselves in a position to beat Louisville and then turning around basically, I don't know if it was 13 hours or 14 hours later and lining up against another really good team, that's a hard thing to do. It's easy to get discouraged when you lose a game like that to a team that's ranked in the top 5. And we had a slow start to the Stanford game, but by halftime it was tied 30-30. And that only happens if you've got great leadership, if the guys really care about what they're doing, if the guys have got a lot of pride in our program and how they want things to go, because in a short turnaround like that, I don't know that I've had a shorter turnaround. And some guys played a lot of minutes against Louisville, and obviously the way that game was played with the way Louisville presses and how hard we fought to get that to a one-possession game, easy to let things get away from you. Now we maybe wore down a little bit and it got away late, but with 8 minutes to go, it was a 4-point game, and that told me a lot about our guys. And then you turn around and we're ahead 26-12 against a team that came into the tournament ranked 19th in the country. So told me again, you know, what these guys are about and where they plan on taking this thing. And so we've got some things we got to fix, but I really like our team, and I think we've got a great opportunity to get better this week, and we will.
Perhaps it was the opposition, but the production in the paint wasn't there for you. I guess how important is it to get that going? I mean, just to open up everything else that you guys did.
Yeah, that is something we worked at quite a bit in our early practices, and I think is going to be an important part of our team going forward. And the three teams we played against, the size and length of guys had an impact on our ability to get things done around the basket. And Seth did not have a great weekend, and he feels as bad as anybody about it. You know, he's really competitive, and he wanted to play well, and he knows that he played better. We may have had a chance to win one or more than one of those games down there, and you know, a lot of his impact on our team is around the basket, and so a great learning experience for Seth and the other guys in there, and also a great learning experience for Dion. The first two games he had a tough time getting some things done, but came out and did a better job against Memphis of making better reads and finding teammates and scoring when he had the opportunity. And you know, so I'm probably the most guilty of it. When we've got young guys like Dion and Seth, as much as they've done already, I forget that they're 6 games into their sophomore year. You know, they haven't played that much. They don't have the game experience of a junior or a senior, and so they're still learning. And I think for both those guys, a real learning experience. But that's going to be a big part of what we do, Carson. That's got to be we've got to be better in that area than we were over the long haul last year, and I think we will be. And this experience will help us. Anybody else? Thank you.
Other than just go into a dual meet where it's one and done, we have a chance to swim fast in the morning and then hopefully improve in the afternoon. The difference in our dual meets versus invitationals is our invitationals give us a chance to really show the depth of our team and really give us an opportunity to prepare ourselves for the Missouri Valley Conference Championships, where it's a prelim finals, and really going to give us a chance to be much more, take a much finer look at the team and see where not only where we show our depth, but also where we can continue to improve. So we're looking forward to leaving Thursday evening to go down there. And then some other things that kind of gone on the last couple of weeks. Of course, last week was the end of signing week. We were very happy to announce the signing of 2 young ladies to the UNI swimming diving team. Most notably, Afton Fife, who's here just from Waverly. Was also a state champion at the Iowa State meet just a couple weeks ago, so very happy to have her join the team. She comes in pretty much faster than anybody's ever swam here at UNI, so we're looking forward to seeing some great things out of her. And also we signed Stephanie Jackson out of Naperville, Illinois, which is going to add a lot of depth in our freestyle, butterfly, and IM. And so we're very excited to see the reforming of this team and 2 great girls to be adding to the quality of UNI swimming from here for the next 4 years. Any questions?
Who else is going to be at Nebraska and Omaha with you?
At the UNO invite, there is Northern Colorado. There's also there's a team out of Boulder, which is actually University of Colorado. They do not have a swimming and diving team, but they do have a club team that's actually won the club national championships the last couple of years, so that'll be there as well. Those are and then of course UNO will be the main competitors there. There are some other smaller schools that are there also. Thank you. Have a great afternoon.